Hello there, welcome to The Window. My name is Amy and today I'm going to be telling you about the books that I read in January. So January started off as a pretty slow reading month for me. I don't know what it was. I think I was just recovering from the holidays, but I did not read very much in the start of January. I set myself a TBR that was way too big and I had a friend loan me some books, so I didn't exactly complete my January TBR. I read 4 books and I started a 5th one. That sort of almost does my goal of 5 books every month, so I'm not doing too bad on that. But my friend Caitlin, my lovely friend Caitlin, lent me pretty much all of Jennifer L. Armentrout's books, including the Lux series. I just ignored my TBR, sort of. I did, however, complete most of my TBR because I had library books that were due back and I could not renew them for a 3rd time. So the first book I read in January was Fairest by Marissa Meyer. This is the prequel sort of novella. It's not really a novella, it's a novel, it's a proper novel about Queen Lavanna from the Lunar Chronicles, which I love, and I loved this one. It was no exception to the series, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. The next book I read was Zeros by Scott Westerfeld, Margo, Lanagan, and there's another one that I can never pronounce. Deborah, Biancotti, the other one. Just gonna say that because I am a white person who can't pronounce people's names properly. Zeros follows the story of 6 teenagers who have special powers and get themselves into a bit of a jiffy, really.
Really, Amy? A jiffy? I think you mean a bind. A jiffy is a unit of time measurement, not a situation to be in.
I gave the book 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed the multiple perspectives. Usually with more than 2 perspectives, I get a bit confused as to who is actually telling me the story. The Round Legacies. But, you know, this was great because it told you exactly whose chapter it was, and I really enjoyed it. I liked that there wasn't much overlapping in the storytelling and it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I think the only thing is at times I found it a little bit slow and a little bit boring, but it was excellent towards the end. The second half of the book was on point. The next book I read in January was also a library book, and that was The Ghost of Heaven by Marcus Sedgwick. This is a book split into 4 sections and you can read those sections in any order you like. And I decided I would make the most of it. I think there are 2 combinations where none of them are in order or like next to one that they would normally be next to. No, there's only one. It was
just here, I'd like to say that I have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about. There are actually 2 combinations. The order I read it in was 2, 4, 1, 3, but I'm pretty sure you can also do 3, 1, 4, 2 as well.
So I sort of tried to make the most of that experience. The thing that links these stories together is the notion of the spiral, you know, the Fibonacci spiral, the perfect one just keeps going, and you find it in art and everywhere in nature, and it's that idea, and there's 4 different stories set in very different time periods. The first section is written in poetry and follows a girl sort of in the caveman ages. The second section is about a girl who is growing up in sort of, I think, towards the end of the Middle Ages. And the third is following a man who is midway through the 20th century and he is working in an insane asylum. And the last section is set way in the future with a man on a spaceship. There is some really interesting structural differences between each of the sections. The chapters in the last section are numbered really weirdly, which I quite enjoyed. It was really very interesting. And because of that, I gave the book 4 out of 5 stars. I just felt like it did feel quite disjointed, even though there was that recurring theme of the spiral. I thought it was good, but not great. Okay, and the last book that I completed in January was Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone Illustrated Edition by J.K. Rowling and illustrated by Jim Kay. And this was just great. It was fab. 5 out of 5 stars, of course. I'd forgotten how much I missed the Harry Potter series and the Harry Potter world, and I just I just love it. And considering that Philosopher's Stone was always my least favourite book, I'm really keen to get into reading the rest of the books sometime this year, especially when the second one comes out in its illustrated form. And I began Obsidian by Jennifer Armentrout, which is the first book in the Lux series. And I didn't get very far into it in January. I think I got maybe 70 pages in and it wasn't gripping me, but I have since completed this spine up of the first two novels, and I've started the third novel, and that's the reason why this video is up late, because I could not stop reading them. At the time I wasn't really feeling it, but now I am, so I will talk more about this in my February wrap up. Okay, so those were all the books that I read in January. Not as many as I would have liked. I started the 5th book, but I really wanted to get to 5 books, and I didn't even start on my TBR books that, like, as in my TBR, as in the books that I own and need to read because I've been there way too long. Didn't even start those ones. So we'll see how I go. I'm really trying to finish off the books that I've borrowed from different places so that I can give them back, because I always feel bad having books for too long and the library sort of makes you give them back. And soon I will be posting my February TBR, which is probably going to be a mess. Okay, so that's everything. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. It just lets you know when I post a new video, which is pretty much every week. I hope you are having a lovely day and happy reading. Bye! Enjoy the 3rd section and the last section. I thought they were very interesting. What am I doing? I don't know. Hello, please focus. Please focus. Thank you. And Biancotti, the other one, Biancotti? Deborah Biancotti.